Good afternoon and welcome to AntiAffable's Best of 2025. Here, I'll list my top 10 movies of the past year. And you might be asking yourself, why is it taking you so long to get last year's list out? Well, let's see how much get up and go you have after being assaulted by an angry ice cube, grrr, and a vengeful end table,
grrr, arg.
As I was preparing this list, I looked up all the movies released by date in 2025 to make sure I didn't forget anything. And I tell you what, it was slim pickings. It was difficult even to get a top 10 movie list from last year's midden heap. Also, these are only movies that I saw. There may be one or two that should be on this list that, for whatever reason, I didn't watch. These selections had to meet at least one of the following criteria. Not all of them, but at least one to be included in this list. 1. It had to have believable character actions and dialogue. 2. It had to interest me within the first 15 minutes. If it doesn't, it's just not worth watching. There's too much going on, there's too much to do to waste your time on something that doesn't grab you in the first 15 minutes, in my opinion. 3. It had to have rewatchability. By that I mean, would I want to watch it again and how quickly? Easy stuff, right? Wrong. AntiAffable is not impressed by much, so these selections had to really stand out amongst the rest of the tripe that was released as entertainment in 2025. In addition, I will also select the most disappointing, meaning I knew of the movie and I really wanted to see it and it sucked. And also a category of the hardest to watch, as in, my God, please be over with before I pull out my single existing hair. And without further ado, the top 10 movies of 2025. Coming in at number 10, Good Boy. A story about a faithful pet pitted against an evil presence and the degrading mental and physical state of his beloved master. This indie film kept me engaged and wondering most of the way through. And at the very end, a great message to anyone out there that is dealing with something that feels overwhelming and how not to deal with it, because the consequences can be damning. Number 9. Last Breath. Based on a crazy true story about offshore oil extraction, Last Breath keeps you engaged the entire time. The ending is short and sweet, leaving me with a feeling that's a tad bit to be desired, but definitely a movie you should see. At number 8, September 5th. Another based on a true story, September 5th starts you off with great character intros and develops them as the story goes along. Tension starts quickly and doesn't let up, touching on journalism and what should and should not be shown back in the 1970s. Something we are still dealing with today because assholes can't live and let live. Even if you know this story already, it's a definite best of 2025. Landing at the number 7 spot is The Long Walk. This one took me by surprise. I didn't think going into the theater that this film would be like it is. I did not read the Stephen King story, but figured what it was about by the trailer. I did a review on this, and the link is below. Watch this movie. At number 6, 28 Years Later. Another chapter in the 28-day zombie rage universe that actually is pretty intriguing. It starts off with a, what did I watch that bit for, because it doesn't seem to fit in anywhere, but then it pays off in the end. The tension is good, and they film it in a way that you don't even need to watch any of the previous movies. And Fiennes is fantastic as usual. Not surprised at all that another one is coming out soon in 2026. Cracking the top 5, we start with Weapons. This story illuminates from different angles and really makes you wonder what the bleep is going on. Do I like the ending? I don't, but it's a better build-up and suspense than any horror film in 2025. Hands down. I suggest you give this one a view. Good actors and crazy storyline. Watch it. Number 4, we have Warfare. This movie is simple and it works. It uses the old trapped in a single location with adversaries all around us, akin to Assault on Precinct 13 and The Thing. It starts slow, but with building tension because you know the shoe will drop at some point. The question is, when? Then it's all out hypertension frenzy. Yes, at 2 points it gilds the lily a bit, but overall this movie will have you clenching your bottom side. Give it a watch. Placing at number 3 is Black Bag, a cat and mouse spy suspense story starring Cate Blanchett and Michael Fassbender as a complicated espionage married couple. No, this is not like Mr. and Mrs. Smith trash. This is good. This is filmed so well that I was guessing right up until the end. Is it realistic on how a group of spies intermingle with each other? No idea, but it pulls you in and holds you there. Give it a watch. Number 2 is F1. This movie is fun, period. Like Brad Pitt or not, it's a good romp into the racing world. You root for the good guys and hope that it all works out. I walked away feeling good, and I think you will too. Watch it. Even if you don't like racing, watch it. It's a good story. Drumroll please. The number 1 movie of 2025 is Nuremberg. Even if you know the story, which my wife and I did when we went to see this, it hits hard. It fires on every cylinder for a movie. Is it perfect? No. But when my wife needs a moment to collect herself after it's over, waiting for the other people in the theater to leave so she can release her emotions, it's a good film. I did a review on this one already. Link is down in the comments. And now for the biggest disappointment award. I was hyped for this movie. Wanted to see it, wanted to revel in it because the previous one was so good. But it was not to be. The biggest disappointment in 2025 was Tron Ares. It takes talent to screw up a movie this bad. And talent, these guys have. The worst experience and hardest to watch award goes to... It's a tie! These 2 movies were so bad I would rather have been getting bludgeoned by an ice cube and an end table. Oh wait. I was. But I'd rather do that than have to sit through these 2 movies again. James Gunn's Superman and the cult-worshipping movie Him get the award. What the F? How do these horrible POSs get greenlit? Avoid these movies at all costs. Thank you for staying to the end, and check out my other posts on the top 5 shows of 2025.